Hello, you beautiful humans. Welcome to your evening messages. Happy Friday. Sorry I didn't get my morning messages done today. I was super busy doing some work. But I came home from the gym and I felt called to read something to you all and maybe pull a couple cards on it. So I have written a couple different ebooks. They're all just like drafts in my Google Drive. And one of them is about grief. One of them is about, it's called Masculine Secrets. I might actually change the title of it. I'm not sure, but because I've been single for so long, I've learned a lot about men and women and dating and marriages. I've counseled many people in reading. I've guided them back to love, and I've seen it from every different perspective. So I started writing an ebook about it because I'm super, super passionate about bringing people together in love, because I think the world is a better place when we're all in love. And my friend Elisa and I were just talking in the car today about how when we are emanating a certain energy, when we're feeling good, and and a lot of times when you're in love, like everything else in your life starts to enhance. Like you start to make more money, you start to get more opportunities, and it's because you are vibrating at a certain vibration and you are leveling up, and the universe is like, oh wow, she's in alignment or he's in alignment, and you start attracting more. So if you didn't know that, when we feel good, we attract more. So who doesn't want to attract more, right? And it's awesome to be super content with what you have. But if you're not super content with what you have and you want change in your life, being in love can kind of create more change for yourself. So if you ever see, like, I don't want to say power couples, but people that fall in love and they start to create a business together, or they start to do something together and it's really, really successful, it's because those two together in their home are generating a lot of love. And it's not external, it's coming from within. And it's just this happy, it's just a good vibration. Funny song, or funny song reference. But so when we are in love and when we are feeling good, we start to produce more, we start to create, we start to find different parts of ourselves that we didn't know we had. Like we start to tap in deeper. And when you do that, you start to add value to the world. And when you add value to the world, guess what you do? You elevate our planet and you make it better. So that all starts with being in love. So that is why I love to do love readings, and I love to do counseling with couples. And just recently this week, I had a couple readings where, a partner would say, hey, I want to purchase a reading for my partner. And I would do like a recorded reading and email it to the husband or the boyfriend. And I say female and male because it is such a different dynamic. Men and women are so different. And even if it's a same-sex relationship, understanding the masculine and feminine energy is huge. It is what keeps us in that, I always do my knuckles like this, that yin yang, keeps us in that balanced energy. Because if you are not in balance, sex drive turns off, you are completely disconnected, you are ignoring each other, you're being cold with one another, and you have no desire to be those magnets that are just drawn together. And when the universe wants you together with your partner, it will make it happen. It will move people, places, and things all around you to make you run into each other, to make you have to face each other and have to talk it out. So if you're like not in a good space with your partner and you are out and about and you happen to run into them, I hear that all the time in my readings. A wife will say, I just needed to get out of the house and I went to Target and he freaking showed up with the kids and we ran into each other. So it's like the universe wants you to be together, and it's going to keep pulling you together like a magnet when it wants you to do that work, to be in harmony with one another. So overall, I love doing love readings. I felt guided to share a little bit of my Masculine Secrets book with you all, because I felt like somebody out there is either in a marriage and you're wanting to spice it up and you're wanting to have more passion and more love and you feel disconnected. And I want to give you the tools on how you can create that for yourself. Because just because the passion is turned off doesn't mean the relationship's over and doesn't mean it's gone forever. You just have to kind of get the magnets to come back together again. So here is how you do it. Okay, I'm going to start off with understanding the masculine and the feminine. So the masculine energy likes to provide and protect. That could be male or female. It does not have to be male, but their desire is to provide and protect, whether that's just showing up for you, doing things for you, physically providing for you with money and food and shelter and all that kind of stuff. So that is like for men, for the masculine energy, that's like an innate desire. They can't help it. It's just in them. And for feminines, our desire is to receive. We want to be nurtured. We want to be taken care of. We want to be protected. We want to know that we're safe and, that somebody will do anything to keep us safe and to protect us. So it's like a receiving energy. So masculine is giving, feminine is receiving. And when we are giving and receiving, boom, yin yang, we merge, and the passion is off the charts. You can't keep your hands off each other. You're like magnets. So that honeymoon phase in the beginning for most partnerships, that is supposed to be maintained throughout the whole partnership. So the way you maintain it is you work at it and you provide the tools to your partner to keep this going. It's like a fire. You got to keep adding the logs and you got to keep nurturing it. So knowing this information, which once I write this ebook, you guys have to buy it because it's going to be gold for you. That's what helps long-lasting relationships stay lit, stay passionate, stay exciting. And one of the pieces of the masculine energy is the providing and the safety, right? The protection and the providing. So as females, as the feminine energy, when we're receiving, how can we give them an opportunity to receive or to give? So how can we tell them what we need? We can't just assume that they're going to read our minds. We have to physically say like, hey, I need you to do this for me, or I would be so grateful if you could do this for me. It's all about your delivery too. You cannot go into mama bear mode and be like, you need to do this and you were late doing this. And we have to be great with our delivery, be so considerate. So we have to give them an opportunity to provide for us. And then we have to admire them for it. So when we give them an opportunity, so an example could be to provide, let's say we want to go on a date, right? And you could be 10 years into a marriage and do this. You could say, hey babe, I would love to go out and eat and share some sushi with you. Can you plan a date for us in the next 2 weeks and like surprise me? That's like a task. That is like something that a man who loves you and wants to provide for you and wants to protect you and wants to keep you safe and keep you happy, a real man that wants all of those things for you, he will jump at the chance to do that for you because he loves you. And action is how men love, most men, masculine energy. They show their love through their action, through their movement, through their doing things. And as feminines, we have to see this and see it as love. Where a lot of feminines expect words, we expect communication, we expect something that they're not innately made to do. So then it's kind of like, I always use this analogy in all of my readings. It's like giving a 10-year-old car keys and saying, hey, drive me to the store. They don't know how to do it. It's not, they weren't born knowing how to drive. You have to teach them. So same thing with our partners, male or female, it doesn't matter. If you need something, you have to express it and you have to understand that they weren't made to do it that way. Most masculine energy, they're not made to communicate love. Some masculine energy are great at it. Others, they would rather provide. They'd rather do things for you. And we have to sit back and see it. We have to see it and be like, oh, them doing that means they love me. And then when they don't say they love me, that's okay because they just did that. And that means I love you. So we have to change our views on love and say, oh, okay, he loves me. I don't need him to tell me because I can see it and I can feel it. But we have to be in that grounded space as feminine energy. We have to not fear abandonment. We have to know that if somebody leaves us, somebody better is coming. We have to know that we don't need them to tell us that they love us. We can just have this trust and this faith that we just know because we love ourselves and we know our worth. And we know that if somebody's not loving us, And if somebody's not taking action, then we address it. We don't just dip out, we address it. We try to fix it if you're in a partnership. And if you're just dating, then that might be a red flag. And you might not want to have to teach somebody how to love. You don't want to have to teach the kid how to drive when you're already at this phase in your life where you've done all that before. It's not your job to teach anymore. You're now on this path and you want to meet somebody where you're at. So going back to providing the masculine with an opportunity to do a task for you. Hey, can you set up a date for us? Or, hey, can you hang these curtains for me by Sunday? I would so appreciate it. And then when you're done, and then they provide the task, they provide for you, your job is to admire them for it, adore them. Thank you so much. Oh my God, the curtains look great. Oh, this date is awesome. I love when you surprise me with this stuff. Thank you for always providing for me. Thank you for always making me feel safe. And you provide that adoration, I guess is the right word, with words. Masculine energy loves to feel like they are Superman for their woman. They love to feel like they are their protector. And we have to tell them that they make us feel that way. They make us feel safe and they make us feel provided for. So that's a huge piece of pulling that magnet together, is we have to give them a task, then give them the opportunity to do it, not judge them on how they're doing that. We don't judge. We don't say you're doing it wrong, or, as they're hanging the curtains, we don't come up and criticize them. We admire, acknowledge, and show gratitude. And that keeps the flow going, because here's where the flow stops. If they don't know what you need, they can't show up and provide if they don't know. So that leaves them in the dark, and they don't read minds. We have to provide for them what we need. And a lot of times I get feminines in my readings and they're not fully in their self-love and self-acceptance, and they don't really know what they need. They don't know how to make themselves happy. They don't have a self-care routine. They're not taking care of their bodies. They don't know what food to put in their bodies. It's kind of like a free-for-all. So when you have two people who don't take care of themselves and they don't know what makes themselves happy in their own lanes, they can't come together. What happens is they'll come together and they'll be toxic, because they'll be like, you need to make me happy. You need to make me happy. And they're leaning on each other and they're now immersed. So guess what happens when one wants to pull away and go out with their friends? This one is like, what? No, you can't do that. Like, she doesn't feel safe by herself. She doesn't know how to make herself happy. So feminines, we have to be grounded and we have to know ourselves inside and out. We have to self-reflect. We have to know our patterns. We have to know our triggers. We have to know how to communicate that to our partner. So when we are fully in our truth and feeling good and in our feminine energy, and we're trusting and we're knowing everything's okay and that we don't need somebody to take care of us, but it's a treat because we know that we're connected with the universe and the universe provides for us, we're really grounded in that, then we can offer that space for a masculine energy to come in and to be the cherry on top to what we already have. And then we don't fear them leaving because we already have so much. So that's a really beautiful space to be in. Okay, I hope that all made sense. That was a lot. But that was what I was being called to share. On my walk back from the gym, I was just like, women need to know about this. And I did a reading right after my gym session. I quickly left the gym and got home for a reading. And in that reading, that was the topic. So I was like, I think more people need to know about this. Okay, so I have how to keep their love for you ignited forever. So this is what you need to do to keep your masculine energy drawn to you forever, for like 20 years, 30 years. Okay, number one, do your own self-care, which is everything I just said. You have to know what you need to survive and in your own happiness and in your own joy. We do not ask somebody else to bring us joy and to bring us happiness. That is so much pressure. We just know that they're the cherry on top. All right, number two, give him your full attention. Full is in all caps. So you are present. You are not on your phone when you're with them. You are listening. You are allowing them to have space to speak and to be heard. Like I said, men like to provide love through action. So when they're speaking, that might be rare for them. So we need to really honor that space and acknowledge them and tell them how great they are at expressing. And wow, that was like, I know you don't normally talk this much, but I really appreciate you sharing that with me. Thanks for being vulnerable. So really honoring men in that space, masculine energy, I should say. Eye contact is huge as well. Again, this is what's keeping the relationship ignited. That's keeping that magnet coming together. All right, number 3, give him tasks or challenges. Guys love sports, they love hunting, they love games. It's innate in them, most of them. So it's our job. That's where we have to be the providers. We have to like tell them what our needs are. They want to provide for us. They love us and they want to show the love by doing things. So we have to give them things to do. And it's not just busy work, it's actual stuff that fills us up. And then it's like we're filling each other's cup up all day long. It's a beautiful flow. And then be sure to praise them. Yep, I already said that. Number 4, give them random hot kisses. I love this one. I tend to do this. So this is like definitely like up my alley. But giving men like super juicy, delicious, sexy kisses when they least expect it. And it doesn't always lead to anything. It's just something to kind of like get their juices flowing, to keep things spicy. Number 5, encourage him to have alone time or time with his friends. Huge one. You want to be that person that's cheering them on. You're not pulling them away from their friends. You're not pulling them away from their family. If you're doing that, your abandonment fears are surfacing and you're fearing that he's going to have more fun with somebody else than he would with you. And that means that you don't see your worth. You're not seeing how valuable you are, and that you should want your partner to have fun at every aspect of their day. And there's no like platform. It's not like, oh, his friends are he's gonna have more fun with them than he is with me. Like, it doesn't matter. You're just all on he can have fun here and he can have fun here with you and he can have fun with his family. Like, we're human. Don't you want your favorite human on the planet to just be having fun every single minute of every single day? That's a true partnership. That's unconditional love. That's saying like, even when you're not with your partner, you're praying for them to have fun. But we have to get to that space, you have to love yourself. And you have to know that you're doing that for yourself, because when you do it for yourself, then you easily do it for others. Okay. Number 6, encourage his growth. Yes. And a lot of times when we're doing our own growing, it's like inspiration. They see us doing it and then they hop on board. So as the feminine, as much as masculines lead in partnerships, they're the leader, and we're receiving and following. But the feminines actually lead, because guess who's giving them something to provide for? We're giving them what we need. So we're kind of like leading them. They want the direction. They want to follow our lead. But as feminines, if any masculines are listening, like, it's important for you to lead. It's important for you to create dates for us and to surprise us. And this is all, remember, this is all to keep things spicy for the next 30 to 40 years or however long you're going to be together. But this is what needs to happen. What I've learned needs to happen in partnerships. So leading, the feminine has to lead with what her needs are, and then he shows up and provides, and then we admire, and then it's that flow. But if we are in a partnership with a masculine who doesn't know how to lead, I don't know. I feel like that's a red flag, because it's showing that maybe he hasn't done his own self-growth yet. And we have to encourage them to do their self-growth, but you get to choose. If you're newly dating somebody, or you've been in a partnership with somebody and you're not married quite yet, if they're not growing and they're not on a growing path and they're not self-reflecting, you have to really ask yourself, do I want to traverse life for the rest of my life with somebody who's not willing to grow in their own life, like in their own body? They're not looking to be better in any kind of way or to have a mission why they're here. So ask yourself that. Those are big questions before getting married. There was something else I wanted to say about that. Feminine leading. Oh yeah. Oh, so if you have a masculine that's not leading, thank you, Spirit. And for men, and any kind of masculine energy, it could be for a female too. If you're heavily in your masculine energy, being able to lead is basically like, it's being that protector. It's saying like, where can I take you? What can I do for you? It's not submissive. It's not, you're not like this puppy dog that's just like bowing down to your woman. No, you are standing up and saying like, I got you. What can I do for you? I'm going to take you on this date. I would love to take you here. Are you interested? It's like being proactive to provide for your person. So going back to encouraging his growth, again, like by you doing your growth, you inspire him to grow. And I also have, there's something else, let him grow. Oh, let him grow at his own pace. We are all gentle beings just trying to figure it out. But this will absolutely keep your love flame lit because he will never feel judged by you. So if you're not, you don't have to be on the same level growing. We're all at different phases, going at different paces. So his growth journey might not look like yours. You might be obsessed with listening to books or watching YouTube, and he might not be doing that. It doesn't have to look the same, but encouraging them to grow in some way, whether it's self-reflection, whether it's going to church, or whether it's going to like a community of group of men, whatever it is. I feel like I'm rambling. Okay, number 7, keep things spiced up each month. Do something new or different. So this is a huge one because we're human. We all are stuck in routines. And sometimes, I know for me, just simple as like my morning routine. Sometimes I always go for a morning drive, but lately I've been like stopping it because I want to challenge myself to not get stuck in a routine of doing the same thing. Because as humans, when we get stuck on a loop, we start to lose our zest. We start to lose inspiration. So same thing in partnerships. If you guys are always doing the same date night, or maybe you're not doing date night, maybe you're just stuck on a routine. It's time to spice it up and do something different each month. Go learn something new together, go paint together, go axe throwing together. I don't know, just break out of your normal routine. And then the last one is be creative with your love languages. This is huge. This is going the extra mile, be playful with them, be a kid in love. So number 1, identifying what your love language is. There's 5 love languages. I actually teach about this in my mindfulness program. I'm in my curriculum for my students for 3rd grade all the way through 12. I taught this. And I just got word today that 32 schools in California will be watching my program this spring. So I'm so pumped that more kids are going to be able to see these lessons. So one of the days of the 30-day program is about love languages. The whole lesson is about that. They learn a lesson about love languages for like 7 or 8 minutes, and then they journal about it, and then they sit in a meditation. I guide them in the meditation, which is pretty cool. So the love languages are quality time, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, physical touch, and acts of service. Okay, so sit down and think about, what is your love language? What do you love to get done for you? And I've learned through my healing journey is I like all of them. I'm just so grateful for any sort of love. I just appreciate the small things. I appreciate everything. I appreciate touch. I appreciate acts of service. I appreciate a gift. I appreciate a word. But the old Michelle, if you would have asked me this like 3 years ago, and maybe this is where you guys are now, or maybe you're with me and you're just appreciative of everything. The old Michelle, I loved like written notes. I loved when people left me notes everywhere. That was like my favorite thing. So like I needed to be told that I was loved because I didn't trust it and I didn't believe it. So that was the toxic pattern that I had, is I didn't love myself. So in all of my relationships, I was super needy with words. I needed somebody to tell me, you love me? Are you sure? Are you sure? It was like this because I didn't believe it. And it's because I grew up not really believing that anybody loved me. Actions really helped me. But now that I've done my healing and I've uncovered all of this and I really just truly love who I am, I know that I'm great. And I know that I love myself. And if somebody loves me, then that's awesome too. But my sacred space is my relationship with me. But before I learned that, I was so reliant on those little notes being left all over the house, or somebody telling me that they love me before they hung up the phone. If they didn't say it, I would hang up the phone and be like, oh no, they're falling out of love with me. I would text them and be like, I would say whatever, but I just was really insecure and I needed to be told all the time. So if you're in that space too, that's okay. I'm not knocking you because I was there too. You will heal out of that phase. You just have to kind of like step into, okay, why am I doing that behavior? Why do I not trust their words? Did I grow up in a house where a lot of people were lying and they said things they didn't mean and it wasn't really valuable? Like things were just tossed around. So now when you see other people tossing around words, you're just like, there's no value in that. I don't see that. It's not true. So we really have to self-reflect. And that's what I taught in my mindfulness program to the kids, that like really ask themselves, like, how do I need to be loved? Do I like to sit on the couch with my parents and watch TV? That's quality time. Do I like somebody to, I don't know, organize their room for them? I was thinking in a kid's mindset, like, do they love when their mom makes their bed for them? That's an acts of service. Do they, as an adult, you know, even if you're watching this right now and you're like, I don't even know what my love language is. Maybe you're like me, maybe you like all of them. And you're just so grateful for the little things that it doesn't matter how you get the love. You just see it all as love and you're not so much picky about it. But really ask yourself, like, wow, what does light me up? Oh, wow. Yeah. Like if my partner goes and gets an oil change in the car, yes, freaking love that. Knowing this is going to keep your relationship balanced. It's going to keep it in harmony. It's going to keep the passion going because you're going to know your partner's love language and you're going to start doing it. You're going to make the effort. That's another thing too. If you're in a partnership and you tell your partner what your love language is, and they don't make an effort and they say, well, that's not how I love. That's not unconditional love. That's conditional. They're saying you need to be this way so I can love you. And you have to sit there and say, red flag, peace, bye, Felicia, I'm out. I'll go find somebody better. And you do not stay, and you do not stay in your fear of abandonment that you think if you leave, you're not going to find anybody else. I just said this, a message came through in the reading tonight with a girl who's amazing. And she's dating a new guy after she was divorced. And she's really like fearing that, what if this doesn't last? Is it too good to be true? Because it's a really good partnership. And I told her, I'm like, imagine that guy's lined up, right? And there's like 100 other guys lined up behind him. And each guy gets better and better and better and better. And if that one guy in front of you doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. There's 100 more right behind him. But our mind tells us that it's one or nothing. It's all or nothing. And if I don't make it right, or if I don't do this, then they're going to leave me and I'm not going to be okay. No, we have to sit in our queendom and be like, the universe will bring me somebody better. It's okay. I'll be patient. But the one that does arrive and it isn't good and it's great, you know, don't overthink it. Just let it be there and embrace it and learn your love language. Learn how you need to be loved so that you can provide that to your partner. And that, again, with the love languages, like, or with the masculine energy, they need us to tell them what our needs are. And if we don't know what our own love language is, oh my God, my arm keeps itching. I don't know why Spirit's making me itch my arm. If we don't know what our love language is, we can't tell our person how we like to be loved. And don't fear, like I said, like if somebody's not willing to do the work to love you in your love language, then that's a red flag. That's not unconditional love. And you can say bye to them and you can walk away because you're choosing you, because you're valuable and you love yourself and you're worthy of something better. And you ask the universe to bring you the next one. I hope you guys like these messages. Wow, this was like boom, boom, boom. I feel like I haven't stopped talking this whole time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too long. Let's pull a card real fast before we leave. But yeah, those tips are huge for keeping your relationship healthy and happy. And sex is a big part, actually intimacy, I should say, is a big part of partnership. And understanding that giving, that receiving, that admiration, that thanks, babe, that delivery, that, hey, can you surprise me with a date this weekend? I would love it. Like keeping it spicy and keeping it interesting and giving your needs to your partner and them providing and then you thanking, that is that flow. I always think of the infinity symbol. It's a beautiful flow of love and energy. But if one of you stops doing it, if you stop telling them what you need and you start just doing it yourself and you start going into your own masculine energy and saying, well, you don't do this right, I'm just going to do it myself, you're taking away their opportunity to love you. So then they shut down, and then you get overworked because you're doing everything. And then that's when it all falls apart. And that's why I was guided to do this reading, was for that scenario right there. All right. Your person is saying, you speak to me through music. So somebody is hearing songs and they are thinking of you. And then we'll do one for the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Leave you with some spiciness on this Friday night. And this is like my ideal Friday night. I love being able to share these messages with you guys. My mission is to help bring people back to love. And I'll spend as many hours as I can doing that. Holy shit, this is so hot. 9 of Cups, 9 of Chalices. She's in lingerie. They're sitting on a bench. She has her knee up. There's fruit. So Chalices is all about like emotions, like you're filling each other's cup up. And the 9 of Cups is super, super passionate and fulfilling. I'm going to actually read it from the other tarot deck because I love this Light Seers Tarot. 9 of Cups. Oh, I opened right to it. Thanks, universe. Okay, it says the universe is gifting you your desire, choosing joy, manifested dreams, gratitude, abundance. This is a card of abundance and happiness and is often fittingly called the wish card. What have you been wishing for? Allow yourself to experience how fulfilling this journey can be and fill your life with all the laughter and bliss needed to spur you into the next phase of your happiness. Take stock of all the feels that are surfacing and remember to practice gratitude for the manifestation of your dreams. The appearance of this card in your spread is an auspicious message of prosperity, harmony. I said harmony earlier, and getting what you deserve, what you desire. What you have been working toward is coming to you. So enjoy life's pleasures and sink into the awe and wonder of a joyous heart. It says, I open my grateful heart to the gifts that are coming my way. Such a good one. I love that. I like reading from that book, but pairing it with these cards. I think I'm going to do that from now on. It's wish fulfillment. Everything you've wanted in a partnership is here. It's in this partnership. And if you're just coming out of a divorce or a breakup, or you're shifting in partnerships and you're trying to add more spice, take what I shared with you. And that is how you can draw that in. That's how you can draw these two. Look, it's like they're yin yang. They're like immersed into each other. They're it's like a magnet. They can't keep their hands off of each other. Look at her foot. Like her foot, she can't even keep her foot off of his calf. That kind of energy is what happens when you have that flow. It's because both partners are feeling so fulfilled. They're feeling seen, they're feeling heard, they're feeling provided for, they're feeling nurtured. They know their love language, they're grounded in who they are. They're expressing their needs. If something is not working in that flow, they're speaking gently and their delivery is awesome. And I just heard somebody outside my door. Okay. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will probably see you tomorrow morning for my morning messages. But I'm really happy that I hopped on tonight because I missed doing my messages earlier today. All right. Peace out, lovies.